Double Team is the Jean Claude Van Damme mega hit movie that changed everything you thought you knew about terrorists, tigers, and babies. It begins with Van Damme recovering a truck full of plutonium from a military base in Croatia. So he sneaks in and drives away quietly like a ghost. Just play it cool. Nobody suspects a thing. Ah, they're onto him. Someone must have tipped them off. Let's be honest though, it's Van Damme. Your tanks don't mean shit. He's driving an armored dump truck down a fucking river. It doesn't get any more awesome than that. Just kidding. It can always get more awesome when Van Damme's involved. There's not even a ramp there. They don't show it, but I guarantee you he spin kicked the truck from the inside, which caused it to go airborne. Van Damme's flying his truck through trains and shit, and these guys get taken out by this sad little tree. So Van Damme's relaxing at home with his wife when this dickhead shows up, tells an inappropriate joke,
there's a back door too. You of all people should know that.
And begs him to come back for one final mission: take down Mickey Rourke. But Van Damme's done, and nothing you say will change his mind.
Come on.
Alright, fuck it, he's in. So they track Mickey Rourke down to Antwerp, and Van Damme goes to this perfectly normal gun store. Then we get the most ridiculous thing that I will never believe is possible.
Now who the hell are you?
Look, motherfucker, Antwerp is in Belgium, where jcvd is life. Don't pretend like you don't know who the fuck he is. Van Damme meets up with his team out of politeness because he's Van Damme and he doesn't need a fucking team.
Who's my dead eye?
That would be me, sir.
He lets everyone know he's in charge with this unnecessary but totally badass move of kicking this briefcase instead of handing it to her like a peasant.
Know how to use it?
With this, I can shoot the dick of a hummingbird.
Look, lady, that's really fucking weird, not what he asked, and really unlikely to come in handy. But whatever, you don't matter anyways. So what's the plan, big guy?
He's like a snake. If you look into his eyes, he'll get you in the back.
I don't really know how that's a plan or what anyone's supposed to do, but who am I to question jcvd? So they put that snake plan into motion, but are completely thrown off by Rourke having a small child. Damn.
What are you waiting for, Delta One?
But really, they should have seen that coming. It is a fucking carnival. So Rourke spots the team. And I gotta say, even though he's the villain, anyone that just walks around with hand grenades and throws them every chance he gets is pretty badass.
This guy.
In fact, this entire carnival is badass. Everyone's carrying automatic weapons and are ready to throw down at the drop of a hat. Or just go about their business like this is all just normal shit. Van Damme's about to save the day when this product placement tries to fuck everything up. Fuck you, Coke. But he's Van Damme, so he still manages to make it awesome. don't know if these guys are part of Van Damme's team, or the bad guys, or maybe just people trying to enjoy the carnival. Either way, fuck 'em. So, this team has been a complete disaster, and all they managed to do was kill a 6-year-old. I don't know how you fuck up such a perfect plan.
He's like a snake. If you look into his eyes, he'll get you in the back.
But Van Damme's had enough of this shit and chases Rourke into a hospital so he can take him out by himself. And after delivering some sweet Van Damme spin kicks, Rourke suddenly disappears and a cart comes towards Van Damme. What's in the cart? Just a baby with a fucking grenade. Van Damme says fuck that guy sleeping in the elevator and blows him all to hell. We never find out what that baby's fucking problem was or why he did that. Instead, Van Damme wakes up at the colony, a place where they fake the deaths of secret agents who don't want to kill kids but are really badass.
We're too valuable to kill and too dangerous to set free.
The whole place is surrounded by magic lasers,
Interlocking lasers destroy anything they contact.
and they keep terrorists there too, like Dollar Store Chris Hemsworth.
I really dislike that man.
It doesn't make any sense, just go with it. Their purpose is to connect themselves to Cerebro and solve mysteries.
Of the 176 passengers on board the flight, there are no survivors. The plane was downed by the North Koreans in an unprovoked and deliberate terrorist attack.
It's also a little racist,
Not a pleasant prospect. The Koreans having that technology.
but it was the 90s. Deal with it. Van Damme then shows just how valuable he is.
Discovering something up.
Let's re-examine the satellite images.
Bingo.
Nice call, Jack.
They said they have a problem. He said, I don't know about that. And it totally saved the day.
Inspired.
Then we see Van Damme's wife, who's going swimming at nighttime in heavy rain while fully clothed. While that might sound insane, she lost Van Damme, so back the f off. You have no idea what she's going through. While Van Damme's had a great time here, being the best at everything, he's ready to leave, and we all know there's no force on Earth that can stop him. Just look at this shit. Even the magic lasers say, is that Van Damme coming at us face first? Oh, fuck that, and quickly turn themselves off. Then Discount Thor tries to stop him, and I'm not sure which is dumber, thinking you could ever stop JCVD or trying to suffocate him when he's already underwater. Either way, Van Damme delivers an underwater spin kick so hard, he fucking explodes. He then lassos a passing plane and off he goes. His next stop is his home in France that he reaches by parachuting with Dennis Rodman inside a giant basketball. You know, normal shit.
Trust me.
While at home, he is ambushed by another exploding fucking baby. But Van Damme is used to this shit by now. And, fuck. Wrong house. I always do this. Oh well, you know the rules, lady. No witnesses. Oh well. Now they're in Rome. Don't ask why. They just are. Van Damme meets with Mickey Rourke.
I never break a promise.
But they're interrupted by Italian police who ride around on horses and just rain down bullets everywhere. I can't tell if that's awesome or stupid, but I'm leaning towards awesome. Unfortunately, he gets taken out by a random businessman, and I swear to God, Rome is so fucking lit. Rome is so badass that we even get a showdown between Van Damme and Antonio Banderas. Remember, it was the 90s, so this was a big fucking deal. And did I mention Van Damme's dressed like a homeless pimp? Fuck yeah. Banderas has a magic guitar gun where bullets somehow land in impossible places before they're even fired. All Van Damme has are his little, nuclear fucking spin kicks that completely wrecks Antonio Banderas' shit. Then we get either the ballsiest or craziest son of a bitch you will ever see. This guy actually thinks he can outkick Van Damme. He realizes that's impossible, so he cheats by doing the old toe knife trick. Nice try, you Frank Reynolds bitch. Just when this movie's starting to really kick some ass, Rodman has to show up and gives us
Cybermonks.
motherfucker. They tell Van Damme where his wife is, which I guess is why they're there in the first place. And on the way there, we get this confusing scene where Rodman goes into a random building where Buffalo Bill is hiding out, and they both act like they're in total darkness. How do you guys not see each other? You're looking right at him. Even if it was pitch black, which it definitely isn't, you're wearing night vision goggles. What the fuck is happening? Sensing that this movie completely falls apart when he's not around, Van Damme just flies in from out of nowhere and puts an end to this nonsense.
It's you. It's you.
After whatever the fuck that was, Van Damme is reunited with his wife, who doesn't ask any questions about that whole not being dead thing. When you're married to Van Damme, all this shit seems normal. Then the bombshell. Mickey Rourke stole baby Van Damme. Oh, hell nah. Fuck him and fuck this fondue set. Van Damme knows what he must do.
I'll take care of her.
Do whatever the fuck you want. He's got more important shit on his mind. So Rourke is waiting for Van Damme in a Roman amphitheater with a sniper aiming at his baby. They're surrounded by landmines and a tiger is running around high as shit on PCP. But Van Damme's nowhere to be found. Where the hell is he? After dealing with death colonies, murderous babies, his crazy wife, and Dennis Rodman trying his damnedest to ruin every scene that he's in,
Cybermonks.
Van Damme needed a little break to remember what it's like to truly live in the moment. So he flew to Thailand so he could prove to himself that life is worth living. This scene has been recognized by literally every man, woman, and child as the single greatest moment in human history. Now completely revitalized, Van Damme heads to the amphitheater, and when the tiger fucks around, he finds out with a Van Damme kick to his goddamn face. Then, this little white guy wearing a backwards baseball cap flies in from out of nowhere on a dirt bike. Who is he? Dennis Rodman, of course. Fuck yeah, we don't even care that he's supposed to be watching Van Damme's wife. So Rodman grabs the baby and sticks him in a hole somewhere so they don't have to listen to all that goddamn crying. Now that that's taken care of, Van Damme can finally rain down an ungodly amount of kicks on this poor son of a bitch. He tries kicking Van Damme, but Van Damme says, "Get that shit out of my house," and kicks his fucking kicks. Then, when Van Damme's done toying with him, he gets defeated in the most embarrassing way possible, being outsmarted by Dennis Rodman.
I moved a couple of your crosses.
Would have been nice if you told Van Damme that, you dickhead. But Mickey's not going out like that. Don't forget,
This guy.
he dies the most awesome way possible. He gets blown up by a landmine while being eaten by a fucking tiger. And those landmines are no fucking joke, and somehow the entire theater bursts into flames. Which is crazy because that's not how landmines work at all. Just when it seems like they're all gonna be blown the fuck up, they're saved by a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola machine. Coca-Cola. Life tastes good. Then, in a shocking twist, this guy was sent by the colony to assassinate Van Damme, but he doesn't because he's not completely fucking nuts and knows that would be suicide.
Toodaloo.
I'm so glad they threw that in there, but whatever. The important thing is, Van Damme and babies have finally squashed their beef.